Hey guys, thank you for allowing us to come up here and share a little bit. For those of you guys who don't know us, it's Isaac and Jayden Smith, and we're newly married and happy to be coming here and happy to visit with y'all and meet with y'all every Sunday. Last summer, before we started coming here, we had gone on a missions trip to Romania and wanted to just share a little bit about it. And for those of you who want more details, we have a sheet in the back where you can put your name and number for a more detailed report of what we did. And we just have time for a brief synopsis here. But we just want to just share a little bit with you quickly about last summer, 2024, with Pensacola Christian College. We went on a missions trip to Romania, and we had multiple different places that we could have gone, but we chose Romania because it was gypsy villages, and I know our parents taught us about the missionary Richard Wurmbrand back in the communist days. He was tortured for 8 years. And just a place that I kind of knew some about and had a great interest in. And Jayden, too, we were able to go and do VBS there. And do you want to tell a little bit about what we did? Here's some stuff.
Yeah, so Romania is in Europe. If you don't know where it is, it's closer to like Ukraine and Hungary over on that side. But we were able to go to 2 different villages. The first one we went to was Mediash. Mediash was one of my favorite villages we went to. We were able to be outside with them a ton and really get to connect with each and every one of the kids. We did a VBS style where we sang songs, did Bible lessons for them. We prepped all this time, so we're even prepping now. These are the missionaries that we helped with in this village. They're Brent and Sarah George. They've been there for, I think, 20 plus years now. They went to PCC, graduated, and then moved to Romania, left everything behind, had all their children in Romania, and some of them are moved back to the States now, but they still have 2 kids there.
They're nicer than that, but in Romania, people do not smile for pictures. It's just a thing. I actually stole this from their Facebook post, and they just, I don't know, they don't smile, but they're great people, very fun to hang out with. And they were the missionaries for there.
So as like we said earlier, we do VBS with them. So same thing here in America where we have arts and crafts with them, we sing songs. But what we've noticed when we went over there that they love arts and crafts. Like, they think a pipe cleaner is the most amazing, fun thing on the entire planet. But here we get bored with it. Like, our kids at VBS are like, oh, we're doing this again. But, like, even the older kids there, they love doing that. We made fun glasses for them, and all the kids wore them, like, throughout the rest of the week. And so not only that, we sang kid songs as we went out through the different time. Yeah, so we sang songs with them, really getting to know them. They sang songs in Romania. We also sang songs in Romanian. And so we just had a ton of fun with them. And I think the next slide, there's me. I loved taking selfies with all of them. They just all really loved and really attached onto you, which is some of the most amazing connection you can get. Even the villages just in general, like when we go, they are very accepting of you, even though we don't look like them at all. But they are very accepting and like wanting to get to know you even more.
So these are, for Mediash specifically, it was gypsy children, and they're kind of, like you hear in stories, they're the outcasts of society. Nobody really trusts them, but they are a very tight-knit community, and it was amazing how quickly they accepted us into that community, and we were able to build relationships with them. Here in this picture on the, let's see, it's y'all's right, I think, or left if we're looking at the same screen, I suppose, but you can see me, I'm the very white, pale one. And then next to me, the taller guy in black is Isak. He was the other guy that was on our mission trip. It was mostly girls. And so we got to go, and we really connected with this teenage group of boys who they loved soccer and, physical fitness and strength things. And they're into all the, Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi. And there was one very right definitive answer to that question. And you were, soccer stuff. They liked arm wrestling. They liked all kinds of stuff. And it was just good fun. We were able to get them actually for the village, a nice soccer ball. It was the soccer ball that was in at the time. And then a pair of pop-up goals because they would use piles of grass. And so we were in town one day, and Isak and I were like, hey, there's a sports department store over there. Let's go over there and get them a ball and goal, and let's see if we can figure that out. And the 2 pastors' boys were with us, Joshua and Elisei, and they came into the store and we're like, whoa, this is amazing. And, but you guys can't get this for us. This is way too expensive. And to us, we're American. We're rich over there, even though we're just college kids. And we were able to get that for them at very little cost to us because everything is way cheaper in Romania than it is here. But it was just a huge blessing to them, and they were able to really enjoy that in that time.
Yes, and within that same group of boys, Isaac actually has a salvation story that ended up happening. So not only that, we love pouring our love into them and like giving them gifts and making sure like we spend time with them. But the main part is that they are saved or that they hear about Jesus and seeds are planted. So he actually has a story, but in this photo here, that's just us enjoying what we can find over there to drink, but also just the tight-knit community that they have over there.
So, and actually, about that story, there was this one little boy, one morning before VBS camp started, we'd go over there about 30 minutes early to just play and connect with the kids. And this one 7-year-old kid came up to me, and of course, he was Hungarian. There were Romanians and Hungarians, mostly Romanians, and some of the kids could speak both languages, but he was Hungarian, and he was making like praying motions and pointing up and saying Isus, which is their name for Jesus. ISUS. And anyway, so I ran and I was very excited. I was like, man, I can't believe this is actually happening. I don't know what he's saying, but it's got to be something crazy. And so I went and got Noah, who's the Brent and Sarah George's fourth son, 16 years old, and pretty good with the languages, pretty good with Romanian anyway. And so he was able to help me translate. And long story short, this kid had all kinds of very penetrating questions that were not penetrating. They were the kind of questions that skeptics ask here to disprove the Bible, but they were just genuinely coming from this 7-year-old's heart. He had a brother who was older than him, but about his age at the time that he passed away, special needs, and was like, well, where's my brother? What happened to him? Is he in heaven or is he in hell? From what Noah could tell in broken 7-year-old Hungarian. And he wanted to know about this lady that was on the side of the road and dying of cancer, this young girl. Like, why did that happen? Like, is God watching out for her? Like, what is going on? He had all these questions and he wanted to be saved. And so he wanted to sit behind the van parked out so the other kids couldn't see him. He was a little embarrassed, and I was trying to explain to him, like, this is something you do not need to be ashamed of. And it's something that everybody needs. And we're so happy that he came to us and was so bold to ask these questions from just a little 7-year-old boy. It was crazy. And we're able to lead him to the Lord and explain to him from the scriptures. They had a Romanian Bible there. And I let him pray his own prayer. I don't know what he prayed in Hungarian, but I believe he was saved that day, and it was amazing to be able to just be there and kind of be almost passively used just by the Holy Spirit, me and Noah, to be able to relay this to him and answer those questions. This is Sunday evening. We all brought our somewhat nice clothes for the evening service in Mediesh. Not Sunday evening, every evening. And anyway, that was a good service we had for the adults there after the VBS in the morning for the children, and they would all come, and all the kids would come back, and there'd be a full pavilion. And this is a picture I took of Jayden because I thought she was very beautiful in this blue dress. And actually, so I was like, go stand over there by the window and take a picture. I was there sitting with the teenage boys in the service, and they were like, one of them could speak some decent English, and so he was translating for the other boys, but they had looked across and they were like, is that your girlfriend over there? We were engaged at the time. And I was like, yeah. And then this one, Aline, he's funny. He just can't explain it all right now, but he leans across and he goes, bro, she beautiful. And I was like, that was 3 words in English. And anyway, and all the other boys were like, yeah. I was like, well, I think so too. But it was fun watching her. Jayden is so good with little children, and she teaches them dance, and she is going to be a teacher at the college. And so to watch her use that to minister to the little kids here was incredible, really.
Yeah, but so this is us. They gave meals. They love being hospitality over there. And so even like we were saying earlier, even though we don't look like them, we are from miles and miles and miles away from them, they still treat us like we are family. And so, yeah, there we go. Okay, so then we went to the second village. The second village is, before we get to that village. So this is a new land, a future plan that Sarah and Brent George have planned, and they've been working on it all since we have left. So this is land that they plan on making a teens overnight camp. So they've been building cabins over there, and so hopefully by the time we go back, they have more of that established, so then we can use the teenagers and go even more with the missions that's over there. So this is the second village that we went to. This is Santa Maria. Santa Maria was a slightly different village. They were still gypsy kids, but they were on the higher up of gypsies, if that makes sense. So they weren't quite as in the slums like in the first village, but they were more proper. A lot of them went to school, but a lot of them didn't. Like, there were still like 8-year-old boys that would leave work because their parents were drug addicts or alcoholics and stayed at home and didn't work. And so 8-year-old boys, 8-year-old girls would go work. And so like a lot of them were shepherds, which was a super cool thing to us because of other missions we've done, that they were shepherds and like they would leave their flocks to come hear about Jesus because they loved hearing about it. So this is Ruben and Jordan. Jordan was a PCC graduate, moved to Romania, married a Romanian, and has living there for 13 years of missionary work over there with Ruben. And so they just, again, show lots and lots of hospitality. The older gentleman on the one of the sides, his name is Stefan. He's one of the greatest hospitality, kindest man on the entire earth that was over there.
He reminds me of my dad's uncle, exact same person but Romanian. And anyway, we loved him. Very kind-hearted soul, very humble. And this building here that you see was the only air-conditioned building, I think, in the entire country that we were able to stay in. And it was so nice. I mean, it was the hottest summer in 30 years over there, and there's all kinds of stories about that. Very hard to sleep. But huge blessing. Him and his wife cooked for us, and she just loved to do it. And Jordan's wife as well. Ruben's wife and I think sister. And then we're passing out invitations to come to, in Santa Maria, to come to the evening service, VBS. And this lady here, we were able to help. She was 104, I think, out gathering hay for her hay pile that she was carrying back to her house. And she would just go out and do that. And quite remarkable. And this was kind of the format of the summer camp we did there for the school children.
Yeah, it looks very similar to kind of what we have here. We have them sit inside. They listen to a Bible lesson, sing songs. But actually, for this one, Ruben led a lot of the songs. A lot of it in the Romania songs. But we shared some of like the English songs that were super simple and like super fun. It gets them all energetic, gets their wiggles out before they sit down and hear a Bible lesson. But we continued to do the same things we did the first week, but just in this other village. And just really, again, spending time with them, having challenges, physical challenges, but also just having fun. The missionaries over there were able to provide a bounce house, and that's what drew a lot of the kids in, is the bounce house and just having lots of fun with them. But, yeah.
So we just have we're working on fundraising around the community, and we got to do 6,600 by about the middle of March to get plane tickets as soon as possible for international flights and all that. And we have in the back, there's a sign-up sheet to get a more full report and some kind of the full story of what we did. It's 8 pages long, but half of it's pictures, so it's not quite as long as it sounds. And so if you guys just put your name and number, whoever wants to, I can send you guys that PDF over text just on your phone. And please be in prayer for us. We had, and you'll read about some of it in the report, a lot of setbacks, a lot of interesting challenges that you don't expect. But really the thing that we learned, my verse for that trip, our leaders encouraged us to claim a verse. And the verse I read the second day was Philippians 4, where he talks about, I have learned in whatever situation I'm in to be content. And that we lost our luggage. The airlines lost our luggage for 5 days, which had all our supplies and our clothes. And of course, a trip of, the team was 9 girls, I think, and 2 boys. And so, of course, the girls weren't happy about not having clothes to change into for 5 days. And we weren't really either, but it's, the guys, it's less of our problem. But just being able to be content and know that we were there for a single reason. I got sick. I was really, really sick for most of the trip, but we were given every morning when we woke up, whether we were tired or sick or just hot or whatever, we were given this energy that could only be given from God to go out and do what we were supposed to do. And it was amazing to be used and poured into that way and know that it could only come from one place. Anyways, we need to get off of here and let Pastor Dan preach his sermon. But thank you guys so much for listening to us for a minute, and appreciate you guys.